You won't believe what I'm about to tell you, but I confirmed it personally because even I couldn't believe it at first. In a recent meeting, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually said that Israel is, and I quote, considering stopping the reception of U.S. military aid. Yes, you read that correctly. Not, we're going to be demanding more, not thanking the U.S. for its support, but actually reevaluating whether Israel should continue receiving it at all. And again, this isn't aid, it's money that we spend in America. Well, this might sound small, but it signals a seismic shift, and it is huge. Now, before you say, come on, Avi, that must be misreported, I want people to understand that I don't take anything the media says at face value. So I checked it out myself. I personally verified it with an MK in the Knesset. This is not a rumor. It is true. Netanyahu actually said it. And this changes everything. Because it means something big is happening behind the scenes. It means we cannot trust the headlines about President Trump and U.S. policy decisions on Israel, not about so-called aid or its supposed conditions. There is a thick fog of smoke and mirrors being deployed right now by the United States and Israeli leaders strategically. And the media is totally misreporting everything. So when Netanyahu, of all people, arguably the most pro-American prime minister Israel has ever had, starts publicly stating an end to U.S. military aid, you know tectonic plates are shifting. Now, think about what that means. It means that Israel finally wants to end strategic dependence on the United States, which the United States deep state has used, together with the Israeli deep state, to control Israeli policy. It means our leaders finally want to act upon the understanding that the strings attached to all the aid packages is a greater threat to Israel than the absence of that aid itself. And we're running out of time. A U.S. congressman told this to my face in his Capitol Hill office just a few months ago, and I'm quoting him. We only have 1.5 years to make Israel as independent as possible with its own production capability of all weapons and munitions, because America needs a strong and secure Israel, and future administrations will be even worse to Israel than the Biden administration. And he's talking about the Republican Party in America, we might lose the House and Senate in the midterm elections. That was his quote. This isn't paranoia. This is reality. He knows that for America to be safe and protected from future damaging administrations, the Jewish state of Israel must be independent to help America. You can't depend on a White House that hires Muslim Brotherhood officials to senior government positions like Obama and Biden did. You can't trust a media that whitewashes Jew haters in America while condemning Jews for defending themselves. And you certainly can't stake your future on a system being swallowed up by progressive, really regressive radicals in America who see Israel as an enemy. So when Netanyahu says Israel is considering stopping receiving U.S. military aid, it's not just a policy discussion. This is a bombshell. Israel must prepare for full independence, militarily, economically, diplomatically. And every Jew and every Israel supporter around the world must step up and support Israel's sovereignty, not in theory, but in action. Because the era of dependence is ending. And the era of Jewish strength must begin on our terms, with our values, and without needing to ask permission from any of our allies, even in Washington. Trump's recent decisions and statements from close allies like Ambassador Mike Huckabee make one thing increasingly clear. They are signaling, intentionally or not, that it's time for Israel to be independent and stand on its own two feet. Am I still worried about the Trump administration connections to Qatar, the evil master of the Muslim Brotherhood and founder of the October 7th massacre and funder of the sabotage in America? Yes, I am. But while at first glance some of the Trump administration moves may appear disappointing or extremely confusing, i.e. the United States deal with the Houthis in Yemen that does not include Israel, especially to those expecting unwavering alignment, the deeper message is very much strategic. The Trump administration is pushing Israel to become more independent, more self-reliant, and less entangled and connected to the dangerous dependency of American political tides. This is the lens through which I believe we must be interpreting the Trump administration's actions, not as abandonment, but as a challenge for Israel to rise. And it's the greatest opportunity we've had in generations to finally step fully into our God-given role in the region as the strong, sovereign, regional, indigenous nation of Jews we were meant to be, free of any foreign master pulling our strings. To some, this might be a very scary thought, but this is the right direction, pivoting us from a dependent state into an equal ally. These are unbelievable redemptive times. And every single person should be putting their faith in God above, even with the challenges, even when it doesn't make sense, even with the hurt and the personal anger we might have towards God for things that have happened in our lives. But it's the deeper understanding. We have to stop putting faith in individuals, in presidents, in prime ministers, and understand the words that God tells us in the Torah. When we stay close to Him, when we follow Him, He will be there for us. He is the only one we can trust. And now in these times when we're being pushed by the greatest empire in the world, our strongest and really only ally that is dependable, the United States, pushing us to be independent, remember, we say thank you, we take that independence, but we still only place our faith in God above. Am Yisrael Chai. Signing off for another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in our eternal and ancestral homeland, the land of Israel, in our beautiful, biblical, ancestral, indigenous, indivisible capital, Jerusalem, since King David's time. If you are not yet a subscriber to our daily belief-based, inspiring, politically true, truthful analysis of events, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We need your support, large and small, to make a bigger impact and reach more people. So every once in a while, click on the donate button on pulseofisrael.com. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.